as we do, guys, go 1 to 17. Starting at the top, Ryan Pappenhausen versus Chance Nickel Clockstad. Now, I'm going to be mediator. I'll let Ash and Josh call these ones, and then if there is needs a divide, I'll weigh. I'll be the judge and weigh it either way. But I'll check this out, you guys. Who have you got in your first matchup there?
I think this one's pretty easy. Joshy, would you not agree?
Yeah, Chance all day.
Shout out to Chance. We know what he brings and all that, but Ryan Pappenhausen fit and healthy and ready to go. That guy just has strike from all parts of the football field. And the goal kicking ability, all that sort of stuff. He's just a classy player. But if it was a junior grade, shout out to Chance Nickel Clockstag. I think he was one of their top try scorers back in like under 20s and stuff. He was incredible for Melbourne. So a little bit of a Melbourne guy coming over against Melbourne, but Ryan Pappenhausen wins this one, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of love in the chat for Charles. We understand that, but based on the quality, it's just, it is a Pappenhausen. Sorry, guys. I'll go to left wing and then I'll add Pappenhausen afterwards. Left wing matchup, we have Coates versus Pompey. Tough one there.
Tough one there. Joshy, who you got?
Not a tough one. Xavier Coates, I think, Air Coates. He's someone who will, I think, probably rival any left winger in the comp. He's someone that I would probably choose for if I was making a team. He'd be one of the outside backs I'd want to have there.
I think he can argue a top 3 winger in the competition for Xavier Coates. I think more than likely he's a top 5 winger in the competition, right? But you can probably argue a top 3 position there under Toto. I can't remember who else you'd really want to put up there, but I think that he's an incredible player. Obviously, Pompey prefers to play in the centre, so it kind of is an easy one there. But we just hope that he doesn't break our hearts again. And just guys, just throw bodies at him when he's in the air, right? Tane, do whatever you can. Rocco, I don't even care whatever happens. Just try not make that happen again, because I'm sick of seeing that highlight again and again and again.
Can we get the sideline there moved in a little bit? Just a
little
bit.
Vegas sideline.
Vegas markings, line markings. Yeah. Now, okay, let's go now to right wing. We have Grant Anderson versus Tane Tuopiki.
Oh,
good little matchup there.
That's a me matchup.
Yeah, I think with this one, it's kind of really tough because Grant Anderson has showed to be a really good winger. Every time Melbourne put him in, he does an incredible job. I think Tane's got as an overall rugby league player, probably more ability for me, playing a fullback, stuff like that, playing on the wing, doing a great job there. Grant Anderson as a winger is probably the better winger, as in his body shape, his defensive. Tane's been really good defensive, but his defensive movements of Grant Anderson and his moments. So I'm probably swaying more towards Grant Anderson as a winger. But if you go an overall player, I'd probably put Tane Tuopiki. So where are you kind of sitting there? Do you want to go Tane?
I do want to go Tane. I love Grant Anderson. I think he's great. To me, Tane has been he's been real solid, but he's also growing each week. And I think if we were to do this, say just before Dallin comes back, right in round 11, and we put Anderson up against Tuopiki, it's to me it's Tuopiki easily. And so the fact that he's only played 3-4 games at right wing, and he's scored 2 incredible tries where he's cutting back inside and even jumping out wide and defending well on the wing as well. It's again, like you said, not his natural position, and the Storm do make Anderson, when he plays there, he looks incredible, and he is incredible. But is that like a system thing as well? I think Tuopiki's more like he as a winger makes his mark, whereas Anderson hits what he needs to hit.
Yep.
Yeah, no, good argument. I'm going to sway towards Tane. The chat's all saying Tane, so we'll go with the people's vote, people's champion.
Yeah, we're going the overall player over the winger, and I kind of like that because, as Joshy said, like the system of Melbourne has made Grant Anderson into an incredible player, and I don't want to say like Grant Anderson's been a very good player, but I think Melbourne's system's really created that. Where I think Tane's just an incredible footballer that we have in our system.
And if both of these players were, say, on like I don't know the Eels or something like that, you know, who would you want more on the wing?
Yeah, good argument.
Yeah,
good argument.
That's kind of how I'm seeing it with it.
No, fair enough. Let's go now to left center. So we've got Leatoa versus Howarth. Good little battle, that one.
yeah.
I'll let you guys decide.
That's a tricky one.
Very tricky. I think Jack Howarth. I think like long term, I think Ali Leatoa will become a better center. But currently, right now, I think Jack Howarth has beaten him out. Form wise, I think Jack Howarth has definitely been really good in form at the moment. I still think defensively Jack Howarth can get caught out. He's still very young in that area, right? But he's shown really good ability, and he's already in talks about reps and stuff like that, where I think Ali will take a little bit of time before he gets put in that, but I think over a long period of time, I think Ali will become the better center out of the two.
Yeah.
What about just short term, right? Like right this week?
It'll be Jack Howarth for me.
Howarth.
Okay.
Howarth, yeah. Yeah, it's interesting to me because obviously Jack Howarth, you know, turned his back on New Zealand, so
yeah, true.
quite hard to handle, you know, like in my heart. But he's also a Queenslander, so it's like, you know,
yeah,
it comes back up a little bit for me. But no, I think Howarth is quite strong. I think he's real solid. And like you said, Ash, I think Ali has a higher ceiling than Howarth.
Yeah.
But Howarth is the better player at the moment.
Yeah, we'll give it to Howarth there. Sorry. Jackie Howarth, center. There we go. Okay, now, look, good battle. A lot in the chat saying 50-50, and a lot saying Ali as well. And I think they're both good analyses of the long-term prospect of Ali. You know, the sky's are ceiling from him. And similar way for Howarth, but I do feel that potential for an Ali Leatoa. Let's go now to Rocco Berry versus Moses Leo. Yeah,
this one's easy, bro. Rocco Berry every single day of the week and twice this Sunday as well.
I echo all that.
Yeah, like Moses Leo probably one game of first grade. Made his debut last weekend. Rocco is, I don't know. He's just such a strong, I think player for us, and I would again rather have Rocco in the team. Yeah, every single time. If you ask me to pick a team between these two, and you asked me to do it 50 times, it would be Rocco 50 out of 50.
Yeah, it's probably backing on to like. I'm not saying like Moses Leo has a higher potential over time, which I don't think so. I think Rocco is an incredible centre over time as well. But currently, right now in form, I think Rocco Berry is the better centre. I think that like we missed a lot with him out of the lineup last year, towards the end of last year on our run home when he was injured. I thought that he offered so much for us, and I think that is so good to have him back. Hopefully, he's all good, ready to go, and we get to see the good Rocco Berry. I think that he just does all the effort areas defensively. He's definitely a ton better, I believe, at the moment in his career. Moses Leo is just going to take a little bit of time to warm up to first grade, but as soon as he does, he's got a lot of potential. New Zealand rep sevens player, but Rocco Berry right now, out and out centre, incredible.
Yeah, no, great. And excited to see him play as well. Even against the Howarth, there'll be a good little battle too.
Yes,
that's going to be a good one. Okay, let's get into that. Yeah, no, that's a pretty good back five actually. Let's get now into the halves, especially in the 5'8". We have Cameron Munster versus Chanel Harris-Tavita. I know you guys are going to be split between these two, but let's see how we go.
Don't you dare do it, Josh. Don't you dare do it, brother. Don't you dare do it.
What do you mean?
It's you know I love Chanel, but like Cam Munster, bro. We're talking representative. We're talking Queensland rep. We're talking Australian rep. We're talking one of the most damaging players in the moment. You cannot do this.
We're talking about the Samoa number 9 here. All right? Chanel beat out Tim Mighty. He's better for Sean Johnson than Mighty is as well. You know, it's Chanel every day of the week. Honest, no way. It's Munster. It's Munster.
It's got to be Munster there, right? And unfortunately, I love Luke Metcalf with all my heart. I reckon he will become a great centre over time.
Whoa. Slow down.
Okay, all right.
You're quitting on your boy straight away. You're quitting on Metcalf. You haven't even given him a chance to argue.
Wow, sorry, Joshua. What?
Not even going to argue Metcalf. Nah. I know you mean.
Yeah. You got to go Jerome Hughes, bro. The Kiwi number 7. You can't even argue that, right? Like, it's the Kiwi number 7.
Who was going to argue that? It's the reigning Delian Player of the Year.
Luke Metcalf, 2025.
Yeah, true. Yeah, that's right. One thing, sorry, about Jerome Hughes. Whenever he plays us, honestly, I hate watch him so hard. It's honest. I don't know what. I just get this rage that comes within me whenever Jerome is playing against us. He's so good, and he gets every penalty that he wants. He's like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and for the Thunder, you know, like he just gets whatever penalty he wants. Last year at Mount Smart, he kicked the ball and then jumped like 5 feet into the air, and then it was a penalty against us because he landed on our shoulder. Like, what are we meant to do?
Josh just casually telling us he's a Nikola Jokic fan without telling us he's a Nikola Jokic fan here in the rugby league chat.
Man.
But I completely agree with you, bro. Like, for some reason, Jerome Hughes just plays his best games against the freaking New Zealand Warriors as well, which makes it so much worse. And I was so happy that this weekend wasn't his comeback game after his broken hand, because you can write the story for itself. Jerome Hughes against New Zealand Warriors, comes back, broken hand game, absolutely kills it. So he's had that game under his belt now. Let's go out there and dominate Jerome Hughes for once, please.
Yeah. Can't wait to see him in a Wires jersey next year as well, which will be mean.
Is that the sign? Everyone keeps asking, Ash, is that the big signing? Is it?
Do you want me to blink twice?
Blink twice for Hughes, blink 3 times for Bonga.
Can you wink twice, bro?
I think I blinked 3 times there, so guys, take that as you will. But no, there's nothing more going on with that. It's honestly just gone dormant. So I haven't actually checked in. It's probably an April Fool's joke, right? Like, let's be honest.
Man.
But I'll have to double check on that, right? And bring some more news to you in the future.
Look, yeah. We haven't got anything for you guys that have been holding out for that one.
Cameron Marlowe.
Malo's back. Okay, let's go.
We're signing Morgan Harper again.
Forwards now. Look, we'll do both at the same time. Stefano Utoi Kamanu and Fisher Harris, Mitchell Barnett, and Josh King. Which of those 4, or 2 of those 4 are you taking?
This is where we can step in now, as Warriors fans. We have all the faith in the world. We got the best front row pairing in the league, baby. James Fisher-Harris and Mitch Barnett. And I think this one, I think there is a little bit of daylight between these guys there too. I think both these guys, for what they brought to us this season as co-captains, I absolutely love what they're doing on the football field.
Yeah, 100%. I echo what Ash said there. The way these two have led us this year is why we're 3-1, why we're in the top 4. It's the way that they move and the way that they lead, the way that they show the mana and exactly what a New Zealand Warrior is. That's why we're playing so well. And I think they run over the top of King and Utoi Kamanu time and time again.
Yeah.
I'm going to add in the lock because I like to have it in order. Sorry, guys, but Loiero versus Clark.
Ooh.
This one's tough, bro. I really think that, nice one. Trent Loiero has really impressed me since, when he got Origin, I was still looking at him going, I just don't rate him that highly. But the more I look at him now, that Billy Slater's just put this magical dust now, that I'm like, I'm now seeing everything you're seeing now, Billy. Like, you've done incredible to pick out this guy out of nowhere, but he has showed really good ability. Aaron Clark, this is really tough, bro, because Aaron Clark has shown in these first 4 weeks of how good of a 13 that he can be in this NRL competition. Me and Levon spoke about this last week, right? Where, like, what's his potential? Like, has this always been with Aaron Clark, or have we kind of taken it out of him? And I think it's always been there. It's just no coach has really given him the ability to show it. So where do you sit on this, bro? I'm probably going to sway the way for me of Aaron Clark for me at the moment. Trent Loiero is very close though.
It's funny, like going back to last year and seeing Loiero moved from the second row into the middle. It's almost like what are you doing? Like that's such a weird move, such like a nothing almost move. Like it doesn't make sense. Why are they doing it? And then he just turned into it, like he went up another level, another 2 levels.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't understand where that came from. Like that wasn't in his game, from what I saw, at least as a second rower. But I don't know, the way Aaron Clark has played this year, I think he's probably been one of the signings of the year.
Yep.
Just in the whole NRL. Him and Fish probably up there. I'm probably forgetting a fair few names like Lomax or Gutho or even people like that. But I think Aaron Clark is definitely like he's transformed our middle, and he's someone that he's filling the shoes of Tohu Harris, who again we look at, if we were comparing Loiero to Harris, we'd say Harris every day of the week, and the fact that Clark is filling the shoes of Tohu is enough for me to go, cool, I'm happy with Aaron Clark.
We're going Aaron Clark, baby.
Clark it is.
All Warriors middle.
Oh, what's really cool about this matchup? I think like Levon obviously will probably touch on this a little bit later too, so I don't want to jump the gun, but you can see there's distance. Obviously there's distance within the spine players of the Melbourne Storm, which is like what we kind of spoke about before. Like they've played together in the system for a long period of time. But we have the upper hand in that front row battle, and there's a bit of distance there too. I love Josh King as a player. I love Stefano as a player. But Fisher Harris and Mitch Barnett, they are 2 guys that we can put up with the rest of the competition to say, we've got one of the best front row pairings in the competition. It's up there with Payne Haas and Paddy Carrigan and the likes, right? So it's great to see.
No, it's a great battle. Bro, that like us going that way, those 3 right there, like we should expect us to be pretty strong in the middles, even away from home. We should expect our boys to step up. Okay, let's go now to the hooker. Good battle again, and for the last couple of years, I've been doing combined 17. It's the same man most of the time. Has anything changed with Harry Grant versus Wade Egan? Where do you guys stand on this one?
To me, it hasn't changed. I still think Wade Egan's got incredible ability. And again, this is like, sorry about the faith, guys, but I think Harry Grant is the out-and-out best hooker in the competition, and there's a little bit of daylight between the second. I believe anyway. I think Api Koroisau's the second, and he's close, and then there's a little bit of daylight between Api Koroisau and the next as well. But I think Harry Grant is the out-and-out best hooker in the competition. And when you watch him live, you get a little bit more of a respect for his game. And like I've watched all these guys live, going to Suncorp, watching all that. Seeing Harry Grant's talk, his defensive movements, all that sort of stuff. But then when you got to watch on TV, you get to see his attacking game. It's like this guy is just such an all-round beast in that hooker position. Throws incredible long balls, so just darts out of dummy half. Like he's so special.
Yeah, I mean, New Zealand residency star Wade Egan probably playing for the Kiwis at the end of the year. It's going to be a good battle, if they ever come up against each other, New Zealand and Australia, with Wade and Harry Grant. But
Brent Webb, is it? 2.0. Nathan Feen 2.0.
Hey man, anything we can get,
Yeah.
I think Harry Grant is probably, like you said, he is the best in the competition, and I think he clears Koroisau by a bit as well. I think it's almost like it's Grant and then almost daylight, and then Koroisau, and then there's daylight. Would you say Egan's like 3rd, 4th? Where do you see Egan in the hooker?
This one's tough because I think a lot of like when you get into these arguments, a lot of people are going to say about Wade Egan is his injury history, right? But if you take the injury history out of it, I think he's right up there for one of the most technical hookers in the competition. So smart. Harry Grant even uses his film to base his game's defensive, like his deception and ruck. Like he learnt that off of Wade Egan tape and stuff. So that's how good he is. When you're going off the third best, I'll have to think about it a little bit more because you're talking about the Reed Marnies of the world. You've probably got JMK, who's like a makeshift, right, and all that. But I think that he's definitely top 5 Wade Egan for me. And they've even been talking about like him in Origin. You got Reece Robson as well. That I think that will probably be the third best at the moment. But he's definitely round about there if he's fit and healthy.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah. Okay, let's go now to the back row. Look, Sean Blaw versus Kurt Capewell.
This one's this one. I think both these two are a little bit of daylight now. Like the way they're playing their football. I think Sean Blaw's incredible. I'm going Sean Blaw. Incredible offloading game. When I'm thinking about the strike of the Melbourne Storm and the areas we got to watch this weekend, I think their best attacking play at the moment is when they play early to their edge back rolls and Pappenhausen sweeps on the inside of that defender. They did it to us last year twice, and they obviously came back into that game due to that same shift. But they've been doing very similar things this year. I think the only other team that does it just to that effect has been the St. George Illawarra Dragons when they did it with RFM, Jaden Sewer, Luciano Leilua. They do that a little bit too when they had Sloan at fullback. So I think we got to watch out for that. And both these edge back rollers have incredible hands to tip it back on the inside. So I'm very worried about that. But Sean Blaw for me, for sure, in the first spot. Do you agree there, Josh?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Blaw's, I think he's going to be one of the best second rowers over the next, 5 years. He'll be right up there. I think he played New South Wales under 19s. I think he captained the younger squad coming through, and then moving down to the Storm. I mean, it's such a good move for his career. Like he was somehow on the outer at the Tigers. Which is crazy. The Tigers being the wooden spoon team when he left, and he was somehow on the outer, and now he's starting for the Storm and playing fantastic week after week after week. So Blaw pretty easy for me.
No, absolutely. I mean, we can't laugh. We let go of one of the next guys we're going to talk about. So
that's
we're just
exactly
like the
right.
Tigers in many ways. But Katoa versus Marata. Actually, it was a straight swap if you think about it. From 2020 into 22 to 23, we gave away Katoa and we got Marata in replacement for it. Where do you guys have this battle?
Fuck, I would have loved to see Eli Katoa in our system that we've got right now, but Eli Katoa, bro, for what he's built at the Melbourne Storm, and you got to give full credit to Melbourne because when he left us, he had ability. He's shown ability, but consistently over time, he just didn't show it week in, week out. And I think that a lot of that had to do with coaching. I don't think the coaches gave him a lot of chances in a way for me, but then again, there was a lot of thought of like he had a decent amount of errors in his game and stuff like that, and sometimes he'd clock off. But going to Melbourne, he's put all the right things in place, and I think the best part about his game is he's just got all those effort areas. We saw it last year, Bompy coming down with the football, him stripping it out and getting the Storm back into that game after we took a 2 to 3 try lead on them from memory, and that's what clicked him back into gear in that game. And he's just got that in spades. I think he saved a try on the opposite end of the field, which ended up being a 12-point swing, right? Like, we tried to score a try on them, and he knocked the ball out of Jackson Ford's hands from memory. So, Eli Katoa, and I think there's a bit of daylight here.
Yeah. No, I'm the same on that one. I think Eli Katoa, everyone in the chat is saying, we should not have let him go. He was someone that was so raw when he was with us. I think he'd played 7 rugby league games by the time he played, first grade for us, which is crazy. And then, he's under coach Nathan Brown, who I don't want to put anywhere near the Warriors history ever again. But, he just got stunted here. And oh man, I wish Webby got to have a chat to Katoa before he signed to go to the Storm, because that would have been fantastic. He would have been amazing. He probably he would have turned into the player he is now. But he went to the Storm, and I'm happy he did. I'm happy he got to go there and become this amazing player. Yeah, I don't know. I think he's probably again in the top 5 second rowers in the
I'd
comp,
say
maybe
top
top
three,
3.
bro.
Yeah,
He's right up there. He's so good. He's so
I
incredible.
can't see many better than him.
No.
Yeah, he's someone that if he was wanting to come back to the Warriors, I would pay him whatever he wanted, pretty much.
Yep. No, that's fair. Let's go now, guys, to the bench. Some good matchups and battles too, and you can't take away much from the Storm. I mean, they got Tyron Wishart, Alec McDonald, Tui Kamitha Mitha, Bronson Garlic. Then on our side, Buntiar Ford, Jackson Ford, Dimitri Vaimong, and Leka Halasima. I mean, how do you make this this bench up? Maybe we'll get your opinion on maybe we'll go spot for spot first.
Yep.
And then we'll just add it as we go. So you're 14 or just I mean, who have you guys got?
Where do you
So who's your first pick off the out of the 8? Who would be your first pick? That's what I'd say.
Did you want a utility first there, Josh? Because I think Tyron Wishart for me is a no-brainer for all these players that we got here at the moment.
Tyron Wishart almost makes my Warriors run on side. So
Yeah,
I think
Tyron Wishart.
Yeah, Tyron Wishart's definitely.
Wishart, eh?
Yeah, he'll be our 14. Can play in any position off the bench. I think he's so vital to them. And then playing with the rest of them, I think a lot of these guys have ability, to jump each other, right? I think that Tui Kamitha and Jackson Forward, or Tui Kamitha and Bunty Afoa are probably a really good matchup in themselves.
Yeah.
My next one, I'll probably go Jackson Forward for me.
Definitely.
Would you go Alec McDonald as well?
I don't know. I think Jackson Ford and Alec McDonald are a little bit the same to me. Like obviously McDonald has better leg speed and is a bit quicker, but I do think like if we're taking Ford, we don't need McDonald. Like if we're looking at it from a creating a team standpoint and playing on the weekend, if we've got Jackson Ford, we probably don't need Alec McDonald.
All right, so we're going to go Jackson Forward there, Levon.
Yep.
I think now we can look at our younger boys now, and we can really kind of work on that. The last couple of weeks, I haven't wanted to put our younger boys in there as in the fact of experience wise and stuff, but I think Lecker's starting to really show himself to be. He's got to be there. So I think the next one should be Lecker for me.
Definitely. Yep. I'm on there with you, bro.
And the last one is like whether you want to go, for me, Bronson Garlic is kind of pushed to the wayside for me. It'd be Tui Kamitha, Bunty Afoa, Dimitri Vaimong. So out of those 3, where would you go, Josh?
Oh, bro, I just love Vaimong. I think Kamitha has the experience, and looking at their bench, it doesn't really have a lot of experience. But then again, like looking at the pack, is experience needed? Like the pack that's starting on the field there. Like to me, I'd love to see Vaimong with Harry Grant, and what Harry Grant can cause, and even with Jerome Hughes and Munster, getting him into positions and things like that. So yeah, to me, I'd probably have Vaimong in there. I think he's just pipping Kamitha at the post for me.
Yep, we're gonna go Dimitri Vaimong.
Vaimong. Okay. There we go, guys.
Are you the same there, Levon?
Yeah. I've actually got no real qualms based on those guys that are left over. I think Dimitri's got probably could go Tui. I mean, I haven't really watched Garlic enough to be honest. Yeah, McDonald's too similar to Ford. But yeah, I like Dimitri as a talent too. Like I think based on that bench, I'd definitely go. That's a good bench for me.
Yeah,
I got no issue with it.
I like it, bro. Let's lock that one in, eh?
Okay, so there you go, guys. Let's just count it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 8 starters technically to R5, which is pretty good. I mean, you can see our strengths are in the specifically front row, the back row and halves, hooker, and majority. The spine positions are obviously clearly Melbourne, which tells you a lot of what to expect. But we have our strengths, obviously, and our bench looks a bit better if it's, and maybe that's an argument we could say. If we get the bench right, it becomes an asset. But yeah, there it is, guys. You guys happy with that overall? That's
Definitely.
Yeah, just that Samoa number 9, just
18th
weird.
man. 18th man.
Yeah.
I love it, baby. I love it.